Hello, hello. Welcome, ladies. My name is Taylor Thompson, coming here live in the She Network. I want to welcome you on today. Happy New Year again. If I missed you last week, I have a special guest here, and we're going to be talking about transformation. We're going to be talking about how to make your life amazing no matter what age you are, and how you can do that through movement, how you can do that through a mindset, and how you can incorporate these things inside of your business. So stay tuned here. So as you're coming on, let us know you're here. We want to say hi. We want to welcome you on. If you are, this is your first time, definitely put first time. And if you haven't given StreamYard permission to show us your name, then we can't see your name. We can't always see as Facebook users. So let us know you're here. Let us know. Put hashtag replay if this is for you, or this is your, if you come on the replay. I have a special guest here, and we're going to really give the value today because we're living in such a space and such a time, like I call it the Zoom butt, right? And so many people are sitting in front of their computers. They're sitting in front of their laptops. They're sitting on Zoom calls all day long, and they're not incorporating daily movement in their life, and how that impacts not only the mindset, but also how does it impact your body, your health, your well-being, all of those things. It's all encompassing. So I want to welcome my special guest here, Miss Connie Ponturo. Connie, how are you today?
Oh, I'm so excited to be here, Taylor. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is an honor to be here with you.
Well, I've got an opportunity to meet you through the Angel and Tina show, and continue on the different platforms that we've been involved with, and connecting women and different entrepreneurs and ladies. Like there's so many resources out there for women to make connections and to expand our thinking, not only with just business. Sometimes we get so involved in the business aspect of what we do that we forget that there's so many other elements that play into that. So whenever we talk about the She Network, sharing her excellence, right? Sharing her excellence network, how your excellence can be a seed of greatness and sow a seed of greatness to change somebody's life. So I wanted to welcome my special guest, Connie, here. Her bio is amazing. What she does and impact that she's had with women in their health and their mindset has been fabulous. So Connie, how are you today? Tell us your story. Tell us how you got to this amazing place.
Okay. It started, I was a dancer growing up. That's all I ever wanted to be, was a dancer. I got into the school of my dreams, the college of my dreams, which happened to be NYU Tisch School of the Arts. And everything was fantastic. I was driven. I was focused. I knew what I wanted. And then something started to happen. I started having this nagging sense. And I know everybody out there has had that feeling. You have pain and you ignore it. I was early 20s, I was dancing 8 hours a day. Of course I had pain. What's the big deal? But what happened is it started getting worse and worse and worse. And finally, one of my teachers pulled me aside and said, listen, you have to go see a doctor. And I did. And I found out that I had osteoarthritis, and really my dancing career ended from there. So It shifted me in a second. And so many times we've had that happen. We think that's the end of the road. And for me, I thought it was the end of the road, but honestly, I was just veering off to the right.
Well, so Connie, I want to tap into that right there, because how many times, that we were raised with, okay, this is what I'm doing. This is what's going to be my life. This is where I'm going. This is my journey. Even through our parents, so many, we hear these kind of stories where, this is our path, and this is going to be our journey. And we have such blinders onto that. Right. And then whenever we hear stories about how the rug gets pulled out from under us, right? Mm-hmm. And what that does to people. So this is one of those kind of moments. Could it make you or break you? And it's a shift, right? It's a shift. And what are you going to do? This is the hand. I always say this is the hand of cards you've been dealt. And how are you going to play out that hand, right? This is right. So this is where you are in this moment, because that's a big deal to us to be a dancer and to be diagnosed with osteoarthritis at such an early young age. That could be a devastating mental blow, much less a physical blow.
Right. Right. And it was. And it shifted. And, you know, for a while, believe me, I was in the pity party of, oh, now what am I going to do? But it really forced me to do something else. I became a massage therapist. And from there, I started working with dancers because I knew what dancers needed. And I worked on a lot of the Broadway shows. But I was still looking. I was still like searching for it. Wasn't quite the place for me. And I met my husband. I had a family and I had children, got caught up in having children, which I wanted, but I still, again, had a nagging feeling I had a bigger position on this planet, a way to serve. And my husband came to me one day. He said, you know, I know you're looking for something, and I think Pilates is for you.
Well, okay.
And,
so let's stop here for a minute. Ladies, how many of you out there, you know, you're in this place and you're in this moment, or you're in your business and you know that there's something inside of you that you have the overflow, you're welling up, you know that you're where you are, it's not having the impact and you're not where you need to be, right? Because you know you were created for more.
Right.
And I think that's a common thread with women, and they don't know how to navigate or find their way or sift their way through it. Mm-hmm. So
it's true. And I think what's important, Taylor, is that we listen. This is the beginning of, this is our knowing. And we always know, you know, people go, I don't really know how I feel. Yes, you do. Your gut. So really what my life then became about is the body's intelligence. And that's my biggest place. I'm focusing women to listen to your body. Your brain will tell you different things because your ego gets involved, right? And it says right or wrong, this or that, but your body never lies to you. So when your body is trying to talk to you and tell you, hey, stand up, hey, move more. Gee, I have a little pain in my shoulder, look at it. It's something we really need to listen to. And as you said, that little bit in me that said there's more for me out there. I have to serve in a bigger way, though I was very happy being a mother and I had 2 fantastic children. You have to listen to that calling. You have to listen to it and allow it to take you, and don't even worry about what the journey is.
Yeah.
Just let it take you down the road.
So your husband said Pilates. And so, I mean, how did you react? I mean, sometimes
I was like, no, I was like, yeah, okay, I'll look into it. And I found a teacher that became my mentor, and it was the place that made me sing. You know, I was in it and I was happy. I mean, at that point I had 2 young children. I was waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, leaving, going off to teach and train, coming back in the afternoon, picking up my kids. I mean, my energy was through the roof. I was in the same mindset I was when I was young and a dancer, and I knew what I wanted. I hadn't in all of that time found my purpose. And when I did that, I found my purpose again. And for all of us that are, you know, again, your purpose can be making the best chocolate chip cookies. It doesn't everything changes the world. Every little ripple, every little pebble we throw out affects everyone.
I find probably working with women, they forsake that, and they don't take that into consideration. They don't, they discount their excellence that they can contribute to the world, and they don't think it's significant enough. You know, they think it has to be like, you have to be this big influencer or this big top money earner or, you know, big, whenever they don't realize the role that they play is significant in the space that they're walking in.
Absolutely. You know, I tell, since I work with predominantly women, I say, think of your life as a wheel. Okay. You are in the center, whether you have a great partner, husband, children, job, you are in the center. If you go down, that whole ship goes down. I don't care. And so self-care for us is huge.
Yes. It's so good. And this is interestingly, like I was having this conversation last night that, you know, women, and we do just the opposite. We do the opposite because we think it's selfish.
Right.
To take care of ourselves. We think it's selfish because we have so many people on our radar that we're taking care of. And whether that's your children and your husband, or maybe you have parents, or maybe you're an entrepreneur and you're taking care of a network marketing team, or your team, or you have all of these responsibilities and you think there's just no time for me. But I use the analogy of, it's like the airplane. Whenever the oxygen masks drop, what do you have to do first? You have to put yours on first before you can help other people. And I don't think women connect with that. Do you see that?
Oh, no. I mean, I think we are always last on our list.
Yeah.
And, as you just said, whether you are leading a networking team, whether you do have a family, eyes are always on you. And so it's really your opportunity to show other people and yourself that you have value. And I think it's that value raise we want, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And for all of our lives, that we want to feel that we are valuable, that we have purpose, that there's a reason for us, and there's a reason for us to shine. Because the minute you see someone shift, you can actually see people shine, and it's pretty amazing. And that's what I get my clients to do. I get my clients to stop thinking about everyone else and to really start focusing on themselves, and myself included. I know the better I take care of myself, the better I am for my family and my community. And I've had to shift as everyone has in this last year. I mean, I had a vital Pilates studio. I had to let go of all my teachers, and I had to make a shift. But what I did is I just knew I couldn't do nothing last year. So I shut down March 16th. By March 20th, I was sending out daily workouts to all of my clients, anyone that signed up, and then it rippled out from there. So anyone that signed up, they're 3 to 5 minutes workouts and posture things and things you could do, because everyone was in front of Zoom.
Yeah.
And so I just knew I had to do that. And then I started teaching my Pilates classes virtually, mat classes. And luckily enough for me, I hit record on day one. And now I have a membership site called Absolutely Grounded, and I have over 150 videos. I have a ton, about 150 videos up on YouTube. Again, short, easy things that you can do that make you feel better in your body. And I just knew for me, the shift was going to be pivotal, and it really has been. Though it's been a really challenging year last year, it was probably one of my best years ever.
So let's go back. So we're going to talk about pivoting in business and use that as a concept. But let's go back to doing what you're doing, and how you have put those two together as far as your life, your health, your mindset. Talk about that piece, and let's talk to the ladies and the little things that they can do and how those dots connect.
Okay, great. So the 3 M's I'm really connected to, and I try to teach everybody, is movement, mindset, and meditation. So the first thing I'm going to tell you is stop everything you're going to do right now and just breathe with me. Okay? So two minutes every day when you wake up, in the middle of the day, before you go to bed, you're just going to inhale for 2 breaths, hold for 2 breaths, and then slowly exhale. And again, inhale, hold, and slowly exhale. One more time. Inhale, hold, and slowly exhale. And all that does is makes you present. So
hey, can I stop you just for
a second? Yeah.
Such a simple thing. And Connie, I think that people in our space right now are literally hyperventilating.
Yeah.
I think that they have stopped breathing. And I mean, I'm like, they've stopped paying attention because it's such an autonomic kind of thing but they don't realize they're all like, instead of really having an understanding the importance of oxygen to the brain, to the body, and how when having oxygen, how it It stops a disease. You have to, so big, deep breaths, such a simple thing, but I think people aren't focused on it.
Well, exactly what you said. So it's involuntary, but when we focus, and it's called focus breathing, when we focus, it puts us, it doesn't matter what's happening out there, what's happening behind you, past and present. We can't deal with that. We can only deal with this moment. And I think for all of us, whether you're a business owner, a mom, a single woman, whatever, to be present allows you to open up in such a dynamic way. So that I think is really, for me, key. I get everybody to breathe, but really and you can do it whenever. And we did three rounds of deep breaths. That's it. And, with some of us wearing masks all the time, people aren't breathing. And with the fear and the conflict and everything, we just aren't breathing. So for me, that is huge. That's huge.
I agree.
The second thing is our mindset, and I'm going to take it back a little bit because back to ourselves personally, the words we say to ourselves are so powerful. God, that was stupid. Ugh, I look terrible. Oh my God, I'm so fat. I hate the way I look. And those words have power, and I know that you're a big proponent of this, but it's like, watch what you say because your body is listening. The body's intelligence is insulted when you talk that way. And I'm telling you, if you talk that way, the way we talk to ourselves, all of us, if you had a girlfriend like that, she wouldn't be your friend anymore.
It's so true. I mean, I think we hear it from so many different arenas, but I don't know that women typically metabolize it.
Right.
Self-talk equaling the self-sabotage. Right? Because, listen, we can walk in front of the mirror, and especially whenever we look in the mirror and what we see, and typically the things that we don't like about ourselves. But one of my friends, and I'm sure you probably teach this, she's a gratitude coach, and she taught me this, and it's been such a game changer for me, is like, especially like women may not like their stomach or their legs. Right. And whenever they look at themselves in the mirror, right, that they have that area of their body that right. And she taught me to say, like, okay, maybe you don't like your legs or your thighs or whatever. We'll use that as an example. She taught me, like, start thanking and being grateful for the legs that you can walk on. You can walk and you can run and you can climb stairs, and thank you for that. I have these amazing legs. And so it changes the focus on what you're thankful. I mean, because listen, there's people that don't have legs. Like, let's put it in perspective here. Like, so I love that you're sharing this, because self-talk is, especially for women, is a very dangerous territory.
It is. And it has become, in this last year, almost worse. I work with a lot of my clients on Zoom and stuff like that. And I'm like, no, stop right there. No, it's just, it's just a toss off. Oh, I'm just being silly. No, we cannot. We're too sacred, really. Our bodies are too sacred. I work with a lot of people that don't have arms, that are severely injured. And it really is, let's notice the joys in our life. I'm a big joy. I wrote a book called Falling into Joy. 8 simple steps to allow your body to become your best friend. There we go. Shameless plug. Let's notice the joys. Wake up, and can you, with your first cup of coffee, go, oh, cup of tea, cup of coffee, see the morning light come up. I feel really strong today. Oh, I want to know what you love about yourself, not what you don't love about yourself. That's what fascinates me. And this is what happens. I say, tell me what you hate about yourself. Woo, that list. 1, 2, 3, 10 pages. What do you love about yourself? And, people stop, because we were not raised to, because that's maybe boastful for a lot of women, and so it's not quite the thing you say. But I want to know what you love about yourself. And I want you to write that down, and I want you to acknowledge it. And be thankful, because what you focus on grows. Where
Yes.
your attention goes, right, energy follows. So we want your attention to be focused on the highest minded thoughts.
It's such a true story, because like so many, and we can really, I mean, because there's so many pieces of the puzzle that are connected that we sometimes forget, because, you know, your thoughts become your words, right? How you think about yourself, and then it's how you speak about yourself. But it also plays into your frequency, because when you have negative thoughts about you, you know, it lowers the frequency, which is the barrier between us and disease, right?
Exactly.
Sickness, and lowering your frequency, it's your energy and who you're attracting. There's so many elements of how all this plays in together, but you have to start with one discipline, right? So this one discipline, what you're sharing, just I love these keys to the breathing, right? Those are just a simple little thing that you can change right there, right? So take us through. I don't mean to derail you, but this conversation is very stimulating for me. I love it.
Yeah. So after our breath, if you can go and write down every morning your 5 to 10 things that bring you joy, because joy takes you to gratitude. And coming off what you just said, Taylor, your energy, joy, and peace are at the highest vibration.
Yes.
So that's why we want to keep ourselves in that place. Movement. We have been sitting, and sitting has now been elevated to the same place as smoking in terms of health. So can you get up?
Can you just repeat that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Sitting and smoking are at the same place health-wise. It's by the Surgeon General. So, I mean, I'm a big science. I love science, and to connect science, because it gives people more basis to understand why it's important. So I need you to move every hour. I need you to get up. So,
okay, ladies, please write this down, because I want you. Okay, so we're talking right now to the entrepreneur, the woman right now who has taken the kids to school. Now she's sitting in front of her computer doing all of her meetings and all of the details and all of her social media, blah, 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 blah. Now, think about this. Set your alarm. You set an alarm for water, for breathing, water, movement every hour. Set an alarm.
Yep.
Movement every hour. So Connie, whenever you say movement, because sometimes that may freak somebody out, give us an example of what exactly would that look like?
Right.
And give us a few things that we could do to incorporate.
Okay. I love that. Thank you for asking me, because I was hoping you would. So I'm going to push myself back here. And if everybody would stand up. Stand on up. Stand on up. I'm going to make you stand up. All right. So I'm standing, and I want you to start walking in place. Okay. There you go. You're moving your legs and you're moving your arms. Now, this is a crazy thing. Your brain does not know that it's not outside walking. Your brain goes, oh, I'm walking. So as far as I'm concerned, you can be on a Zoom meeting, flip off your camera, and start walking in place.
Oh my God, I love that idea.
Pull your abdominals in, move your arms. So the more dynamic your arms are, the higher your legs are, the more, the bigger your heart rate will go up.
Okay.
If somebody's not feeling that, they can just sit in a chair and move their arms and legs.
Okay.
Okay. So there you go. You're in it. You're doing it. You're moving. And you're going to put a little timer on. I put my phone on, and then 5 minutes, you can go back to your work. But if you put back from your desk for 6 times for 5 minutes, you have 30 minutes of exercise.
Wow.
Okay. It's not crazy. It's not crazy. It's just like, and I know we're busy, and I know that we're trying to build communities and businesses. But at the base of it, if you go down, you don't have a business.
This is such a good conversation, because here, I mean, like anybody, I mean, like I'm on Zooms all day long.
All day long.
Like, so, but anybody can turn off their camera, right, and not be distracting to the other participants and be able to do exactly what you just said. Anybody.
Yeah. And so this really came out of being on Angel and Tina's show. And someone was talking about time. And time, of course, is a construct, right? It's an illusion, but yet we all are in that. And yes, we do have a certain amount of time in a day. And all of a sudden I went, So I created a program called Get Fit in 5 Challenge. And I started it, it's evergreen, but I started on January 4th. So it's 21 days of following me, and I have videos you just follow along with. You just hit a video, click, and go to the next one. 6 videos in a day, or you can do them all at once. Because people were like, well, what do I do?
Yeah.
So, but walking for me is the easiest. First of all, I love to walk outside, but some people are living in places where, it's winter and it's cold and they can't get outside. So I said, put on some great music. Walk in place, walk around your rooms, if you have a Fitbit or, an Apple Watch, it's going to pick up your movement. Movement is movement is movement.
Yes.
It's not like this movement is better than that movement. Our bodies were meant to move. Joseph Pilates said, you're as young as your spine. So I have 20-year-olds that are sitting like this because they're in front studying, texting and all that kind of stuff. So we really want to move. So that's why I created this course for people to just be able to get up, and what can they do? And I do a squat series, and I do planking with the chair. I take the chair, I push the chair away. I use the floor. It's pretty simple.
But let's talk about like this kind of this mindset and what happens to the body physiologically.
Yeah.
Whenever we incorporate movement, whenever what's actually taking place.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about that.
Your focus goes from, how you've been on meetings for a while and you get a little bleary-eyed. So you've changed the energy, and you've taken your spiral up so that when you come back and you're going to get up and have water, you'll go to the bathroom, you'll have something nourishing to eat. You come back and you are refreshed and ready to focus. And for us, focus and presence. Back to that breathing, back to bringing you back to center, and not worrying about the stuff that we cannot control. I cannot control the world. I cannot control this country, but I can absolutely control myself, my body, my surrounding, who I deal with, negative people, getting them out of your life, dealing with positive ideas that I can control. And so we really want to focus on how we can take care of ourselves. But when our bodies move, you come back refreshed, ready to be here and ready to deal. And instead of that, like, I'm so tired, reach for another cup of coffee. I can't do it. It changes you on a dime is all I can say.
So what I love about this conversation, Connie, is that it doesn't matter who you are, how busy you are, or what age you are.
No.
Anybody can do this. Anybody can do this and change, and it can, just the oxygen, that right there can change your health.
Yeah. And as we get older, the things that we're really looking for are mobility, flexibility, and strength. Okay. Because that we need to be able to get up and down from the floor. And if I show you how to do that, that's huge. We need to be able to move our bodies fully so that we can be active. And we need to feel strong within ourselves, because just feeling strong feels good.
Yes. So we talked about that. You mentioned this right here. And, I happen to have I graduated with a physiology degree.
Yeah.
So One of the things that I know is very, very important, because we talk about movement, but also you mentioned flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's talk about some of the stretching.
Love it.
They can do maybe while turning their camera off.
Yes,
things
absolutely.
that they can do while they're sitting at their desk, because flexibility is crucial.
Crucial. So I'm going to just flip my camera down a little bit. This is like my hands down favorite stretch. It's called the number 4 stretch. And you're just going to take one ankle over the other leg. So just put yourself back one ankle over the other leg, because we're sitting.
Yes.
But the glute muscle gets tight. So you're going to put your hands on your shin. You're going to lift up really tall and just lean forward just a little bit. Yeah. So the leg is on top. You feel the stretch in the hip?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this right here. So this is a great stretch, ladies, because probably as far as back concerns, the sciatic nerve, which gets tight down the back of your leg. This is a great stretch to keep that pain, because people have shooting pain down their leg. It's usually their lack of flexibility, because the muscle is impinging upon that nerve, which is causing the pain. So this is anybody can do this, ladies. Anybody can do this right here.
Right. And you won't be able to do this 5, 6, 7 times a day. Let's say in between your calls, you're going to make sure you always do both legs. So exactly what you're saying, Taylor, the sciatic nerve is deep within the deep rotators. The piriformis is one that people tend to know that name, and that gets wrapped up and we get really tight. So this you can do many times. We want the body straight and lean forward for just a little bit more stretch. Absolutely. And then the other part of our body is in our lower back. Okay, and so we're going to do, it's called the Q&L, quadratus lumborum, to not be too specific, but just so you know. And so we want to stretch that. So you're going to take your one arm up to the ceiling, doesn't matter which one, and now you're going to stretch over to the side. This is a side stretch first. And now you're going to reach forward as if you're reaching for something in front of you, and that should go down a little bit more into your lower back. Can you feel that in your back, Taylor?
Yes.
Good. And come on back up. Let's go to the other side. Again, the side of our body, the lateral side, doesn't move a whole lot during the day. Over to the side, getting that side stretch, and then reaching forward. Ooh, that goes into your lower back, and that's really important for the back. Good. And come all the way back in.
Wow. So this is this right here, just doing it. This can change just this little bit of movement. Anybody can do this.
And it's the small steps that we do every day that make a huge difference. You do not have to run a marathon. You do not have to go to CrossFit. You don't have to have a Peloton bike. You don't have to do that. But we have to keep you strong, and we have to keep you flexible. Strong in your core. And I want you to think of your core as more than just your abdominals. The core is the front of the body, the back of the body, and the sides of the body. If we can keep that strong, that is a game changer as we get older.
Agreed. And here's the thing, even if you're an avid exerciser, doing these things, what we're suggesting to do throughout the day, only enhances it only enhances everything.
Absolutely. And let's say you push back and do your 5 minutes 6 times a day, and then you take a walk at the beginning of the day and a walk at the end of the day. Now you have like an hour of movement. Again, I tell people, lay out your shoes, go out, even in the snow, it doesn't matter, for 10 minutes. 10 minutes one way, flip around, that's 20 minutes. If you did that twice a day, I just want people to think about exercise in small bites. Yeah. It does not have to be hours and hours. It doesn't have to be drudgery. It doesn't have to be, we want it to be fun. We want you to love it. And the more you do it, the better you will feel. I promise you. From people who have never exercised, that's who I work with. People who have never exercised in their life, to people in absolutely serious chronic pain.
So let's talk, this is really such great value. So let's talk about let's talk about to the entrepreneur that maybe needs that, because you had to do a major pivot, having a business being an entrepreneur, having a business that required a face-to-face interaction.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me like the challenges that you faced of transitioning or pivoting away from that and still being able to survive. I mean, most people would have thrown their hands up and go, well, I'm out of business.
Right.
I mean,
right. And I think it was the grit that I learned when I couldn't dance. So I was like, at one point, I think I had a moment with an aha moment with myself. And I said, okay, it didn't work out the way you planned. So how are you going to shift? And the same thing happened to me last year. Everybody was like, well, that's it. We can't, that's it. And I was like, it's not good enough. It's just not good enough for me. There's too many things. I'm just too creative. How can I think outside of the box? And I think that's for entrepreneurs, this is creating us. It's creating an opportunity for you to think outside of the box. Every day I'm like an idea. I'm like, oh my God, that's a great idea. I'm going to write that down. And I know I'm going to use it. I just aligned with an athleisure brand that's a new company, Savvy Lifestyle. And it's just, things are coming to you. Can you be open enough to listen? And if you do have to make a shift in your business, think of it as an opportunity for you to grow even bigger. I mean, okay, so you had to shift your business.
Yeah.
What in that can you use?
This is such a great mindset. It's such a great mindset to adopt, no matter what arena of business that you're in, because, I was always like, when God closes a door one place and opens a window somewhere else,
Right.
But you have to be open. You said a key word, to be open, to see, okay, what are those possibilities? It didn't happen to you, it happened for you whenever you, so
Always.
It does come down to how you see things, perspective, which all goes back to the self-talk, which all goes back to breathing and all of these things that start unfolding before you. If you have a negative self-talk about who you are, I promise you're probably having a negative self-talk about your business.
That's it.
It's all tied together.
Absolutely. And then it becomes excuses, right?
Yeah.
No, Taylor, I can't do that because I'm sorry, I'm really not, there's nothing I can do here. There's always something you can do. But see, I'm lucky in that I've always been that person. My glass is not half full or half empty. My glass has always been overflowing. And for me, that has really supported me through many different careers. I was an actor. I was a blah, blah, blah. But the wonderful thing is my toolbox of life skills is so rich. I open and go, oh, yeah, I'm going to use that skill. I'm going to use that skill. I'm going to use that skill. And we all have that. That's the one fantastic thing about aging and getting older. People say to me, do you mind getting older? I'm like, no. I value it. I value it because I'm always like, what's around the corner? What's next? Because I think it's, just life's a daring adventure or nothing at all. Correct?
Yep. Yeah. I think you're absolutely right. I mean, so this is such a really great conversation. So your pivot and your shift in this, okay, I can't do it here. So now what's the next step for me? Tell us what's happened for your business as a result of being open to the possibilities.
It just grew in a totally different way. This is something so funny, Taylor. I had wanted to do an online site for so long. I just didn't know, how am I going to get the content? When am I going to find the time? There were always all of these that were logistically true. I was teaching a lot, and then all of a sudden that was gone. But you know what it did? It opened up a space in my mind where I could think differently. I spent a lot of time in my garden. I happen to have two children, one 28 and one turning 24, who all of a sudden were home. And my husband, who for the past 20 some odd years have been out of the house, was homework. Everyone was working from home. And it just opened up something. I was like, what do I love to do? And what am I not missing? And what am I missing? And it just shifted, and it really was very organic. Had no idea, true beginner's mind, when I started recording my clients, recording classes. I didn't know. And in the beginning, I didn't have lights. My computer was a $300 computer, and I didn't have cameras, and I didn't have anything. But people didn't care. They were happy that I showed up, and they were ready to show up.
So
I think for new people, right? I can't do it because I don't know. My thing is do it. Yes. Just do it. And the way will be shown to you, number one. And number two, you're going to get better at it.
Yes. This is such a great conversation, Connie. I appreciate this so much because so many times, especially if we don't know the how, then we sit there and we waste so much time on trying to figure out the how and what does it look like. And you're trying to look from A to Z instead of seeing, okay, I can see A to B and take that step. Because you don't have to have a perfect plan. You just have to have an imperfect plan put into action. And GPS it as you go. Larry and I, we know whenever we're teaching in network marketing, we say you can't GPS a parked car. You wouldn't have known what you needed to tweak and refine if you wouldn't have got out of the boat.
Right.
You wouldn't have, because you would have sit there and analyzed it. You didn't do anything with it. And so many people would have missed out on that excellence that you have. They would have missed out, because you have something to share and give because out of your own insecurities of what they would have think and all of those things that we go through. So,
and you know what? That would have been me in the past. That would have been me. I would have said, I have wanted to do videos and I'm older. Maybe I shouldn't. I'm not like a 20-year-old. I don't have a perfect body, all the stories that we tell each other. But I have to tell you the pandemic did is it took off all of my blinders and I didn't care. I didn't care because I knew my purpose was bigger. My clients needed me. Number two, it didn't matter. I started being foolish. I started putting everything up. The stuff I send out to people is like just everything. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm 65 years old, just to give a premise here, so age doesn't matter. Thought doesn't matter because I hear it all day long. My clients are like, well, you wouldn't know I'm 60. I'm like, please, I'm 65. Come on. Let's stop with that excuse. Let's stop with when you age, this happens. Lie. When you do this, this happens. That's a lie. That's maybe your truth. It's not my truth.
Yeah.
So I think all of this really, it didn't matter. My shift was like, it doesn't matter because it's either this or nothing. So I didn't have any of the fears that normally in the past I would have had. And I tell people that's the best place to be. Go for it. You will get better. Whatever you practice, you will get better at. I have not done this much mat when I started mat Pilates. You do it at the beginning of your training. I hadn't done it as much as I had. So I, along with everyone else, got stronger. And do you know, I have like 91-year-olds in my class that have been with me 4 times a week, every week for 12 months, 10 months, whatever craziness. They showed up. And they did what they could. And so it's just really for everyone out there, when you're searching for what is it, don't go out there, go here. Just take those moments, take your breath, take your journal and look inward because it is right there for you. We just always go out there. I don't know my purpose. Yeah, it's not there. It's here. And the more you just don't even worry, whatever your mind is saying, don't listen to it. Because, our minds are wired. We are wired for the negative bias. That's how we have survived, right? Our shoulders are up here. Everyone has, because we are always guarding our skulls. Okay, that's caveman. We needed it then. We don't need it now. And yet it's still into our physiology. So I just want. I everybody to just go out there and really find what their truth is. And really what's your superpower? Because everybody has one.
Well, and you say superpower, I say excellence, and so many, typically it's the thing that you take for granted. It's typically the thing that you think, oh, nobody wants to hear about that, or nobody needs to know about that. And the thing that is our superpower, we think that it's not going to have impact. And so, this is such an important conversation. There's so many nuggets in there. I really appreciate you being so transparent and sharing what's happened with your journey, because look what's happened as a result of that, the business that you've been able to create online. That's exactly what happened to Larry and I. I mean,
Oh, really?
yes, exactly. I mean, fortunately for us, because we were traveling, we were doing trainings across the globe, getting on an airplane and traveling, 8-10 hours across the globe to go to physical meetings. And it became so physically demanding. And, so many people were like, oh, I would love to have your life. You travel here, you go here, but, and it's great. It was amazing. But at the end of the day, it's taxing traveling and to do those things. It's physically taxing. Right. And we have to learn how to leverage our excellence. We have to be able to leverage technology and be able to impact more people. And I love that that's exactly what you've embraced. Even though with most people in your space would not have adopted that mindset because they would have perceived it as being a physical business. Right. Because it required physical movement, activity. And, I can see how that would have been a mind barrier for most people. And I love the fact that you didn't allow that to stop you from moving forward and having an alternative, pivoting, creating another business, and still continuing to do and teach and remain in your excellence in a different modality.
Right. And I learned that I love Zoom. I mean, I had never done a Zoom, so all of my students were learning how to do it. So was I.
Yeah.
So it's, you can learn whatever it is, you can learn it. It's everything is very learnable if you have the desire. And when you have the desire, you can move mountains.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I teach all the time. To be an entrepreneur, network, whatever it is, desire, burning desire, willingness to do the work, willingness to get out of your comfort zone, willingness to do the unthinkable, and to be teachable in the process, be willing to fall forward, fail forward, whatever you want to call it. Because the thing about it is nobody ever perfected it. You can't GPS a parked car. At the end of the day, you just can't. Right. GPS a car that's not moving. And so activity is the key. So last words of wisdom, like what would you share with the ladies here today? Like, you talk about mindset. Do you have any like tools that you like is your go-to as far as maybe you have quotes or maybe you have a favorite book? Is there something that you would like to leave with them before we sign off here?
Yeah, there's a quote that I wrote that is really kind of pivotal to me, which is joy is the juice of life, freshly squeezed.
Ooh.
How will you drink it in? Ooh. And your life is your gift. This life is an absolute gift. I know we all have people that are no longer here and who would change places with you in a heartbeat. So if that's true, if your life is a gift, what are you going to do? What are you going to do today? Not what do I have to do today? What do you get to do today? Yes. What's out in front of you? And I don't care if it's going to the end of your driveway and picking up the newspaper. Wow, I get to do this.
Yes.
How lucky am I? And I think when you go from that mindset in everything you get to do, I don't have to take my kids to here or there. I get to take my kids. I get to spend this time. I know that having my kids live at home with me in this last year has been a gift I never would have had. Yeah. So what do you get to do every day that is a joy? And just
I love that. I love that. And would you be so kind to share with the ladies how they may be able to connect with you, your classes or whatever? Would you?
Absolutely. First, let me just if it's okay, can I give a gift?
Absolutely.
Great. So if you just text the word self-care to 26786, You'll get into my daily workouts motivation, and it's easy, simple things. They come to your phone. That's one way. Absolutelygrounded.com is my membership site. And you can get the Get Fit in 5-minute program there. It's only $29, 21 days. Or you can become a member of my membership site. And I do my virtual classes. It shows you how to get into my virtual classes. And I also do meditation because I'm a meditation teacher. So I do a sleeping. It's called Yoga Nidra, sleep-based meditation. And then on YouTube, Absolutely Grounded on YouTube. Please become subscribed. But I have 150 videos, short videos up there. Things that I want it to be very actionable. I want people to take action in what they do. And if it's just getting you up, standing and walking in place, let's do that. And breathe. Yeah.
I love that. Okay, ladies. Well, thank you so much, Connie, for taking time away from your business and to be here and share the value and to share with the ladies of like mindset, movement, how to change your life at any age, how you can transform your life. You just have to have the desire. So simple key things, takeaways today. Appreciate all of the nuggets. Ladies, I hope you got some value today. Thank you so much for tuning in here today. Connie, I'll say bye to you privately. So ladies, you have a blessed, amazing day. Set your clock, set your timer, water, breathing, movement, every hour. Those are the takeaways for today. So, love you all. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.